Andarki Namaskaram. I am B. Kranti Kumar, lecturer in chemistry. I am working in SKP Government Degree College, Guntakal. Here, the entrance picture of my college is shared with you, and it is the logo. Here it is written Vidyavalana Abhiruddhi. It means development through education. So we are making this kind of videos for the development of our students. Today I am going to discuss about thermodynamics. Let us see. Here, thermo means heat. Motion means dynamics means motion. It means heat is in motion. So it is a branch of science which deals with study of flow of heat, and it also explains the quantitative relationship between heat energy and other form of energies. And particularly in chemistry, it deals with the study of processes in which chemical energy is involved. And here some applications of thermodynamics are given. The first one is this: thermodynamics explains the feasibility and spontaneity of a reaction, and it also useful to calculate the extent of completion of the reaction. It means how much reactants are converted as products. It explains the extent of completion of the reaction, and it explains whether that reaction is feasible or not, whether that particular reaction is spontaneous or not. So these are the some of the applications in chemistry. And if you look at the limitations of thermodynamics, the first limitation is it is only applicable to the macroscopic matter. It's not applicable to the microscopic matter like atoms or molecules. Okay. And the second limitation is that it tells about feasibility and it tells about the extent of the reaction, but it is failed to tell about the rate of that particular reaction. And there is another chapter called chemical kinetics that explains the rate of the reaction, but thermodynamics fails to explain the rate of reaction. And the third one is the thermodynamics does not concern with total energy of the body or system. It only concerns with energy change. That's why in thermodynamics we only talk about change in internal energy, change in enthalpy, change in entropy, change in Gibbs free energy like terms. We don't concern about specific internal energy or specific enthalpy or like that. We only need change in that particular property, and it does not provide any information about mechanism of the reaction. Okay, so these are the limitations of thermodynamics. Next, there are some terms used in thermodynamics. The first one is system. System is that a specific part of universe which is under investigation or under observation. మనం ఈ యూనివర్స్ లో దేని గురించి అయితే మాట్లాడుతున్నామో దానిని మనం సిస్టమ్ అని అంటాం. ఏదైతే మన అబ్జర్వేషన్ లో ఉందో దానిని మనం సిస్టమ్ అని అంటాం. నెక్స్ట్, సరౌండింగ్స్. వాట్ ఈస్ సరౌండింగ్? ద పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ యూనివర్స్ other than system is called surrounding. Here I posted a picture. See, this represents a system. This is the boundary. The except system, the universe is called surrounding. Next, boundary. What is boundary? Anything which separates system and surrounding is called boundary. This boundary may be real, may be imaginary, it may be rigid or it may be non-rigid. If you take a room, if you take a classroom, that has rigid boundary. If you take a cricket ground, that has rigid boundary. But if you take a balloon, so if you don't press that, it has some specific boundary. If you press it, it has other boundary. So the boundary may be rigid or non-rigid, and boundary may be imaginary also. Suppose if you concentrate on particular person in the classroom, that is the imaginary boundary formed about that particular student. Okay, so this is about boundary. Next, here some types of systems are given. The first one is open system. What is open system? Open system is that it is a system in which exchange of energy as well as matter with the surroundings. It means it exchanges its energy and matter with the surroundings. For example, if you take the cup of tea or coffee, here I took this cup of tea. So here this tea is exchanging its energy and matter with the surroundings. If you keep this tea for 1 hour, after 1 hour it will get cooled. It means it exchanged its energy through it exchanged its energy with surroundings. And the droplets in tea are vaporized, that represents the matter in the tea also exchanged to surroundings. So that's why this is the example for open system. Here matter and energy are exchanged with surroundings. And if you come to the closed system, this is a system in which only energy is exchanged with surroundings but not matter. See, if you take the example for this, so I just closed this teacup with some plate or something, some cap. So here the droplets of the water droplets of this tea will not be vaporized to surroundings. Only if you keep that for 1 hour, that will get cooled. Even though if you close that cup, but it will get cooled. Only energy is exchanged with surroundings but not matter. And if you talk about isolated system, these are the system neither matter neither energy will be exchanged with surroundings. So here if you take I think you might have known about this thermo flask in which we generally keep tea or some hot liquid. So this is a thermo flask. So here even though we keep this for 1 hour, neither matter nor heat is exchanged with the surroundings. Next, homogeneous system. What is homogeneous system? The homogeneous system is that in which there is only one phase existed. So it is uniform throughout the matter. It should be uniform throughout the matter. It should have only one phase. See, it is example is given here. So this is pure liquid or some salt water, whatever, but it has only one phase. That phase also is uniform throughout this phase. And if you talk about heterogeneous system, this system has two or more phases and it is not uniform throughout the matter. You can take this benzene, this is the benzene, the upper one, this is lower one is the water. If you mix them, here two phases are formed. So this is the example for heterogeneous system, and some other examples are also given here. You can go through them. Okay, we have less time. It is permitted for only 15 minutes. Okay, so we move to other one. So thermodynamic properties, and there are some properties. So the first one is the extensive properties. What are extensive properties? The properties of the system whose magnitude depends upon the quantity of matter or number of matter or number of particles or size of the matter are called extensive properties. Suppose if you take volume depends upon the quantity of matter or size of the matter. Suppose if you have the big size of matter, big size of system, it has big volume. If you take some small system, it has small volume. It means that property is changing with the size of that system. It is called extensive property. Or if you take weight, if you take some small system that has less weight, if you take some bigger system, it has big weight. So this property is changing with the system size or quantity of that system. Okay, so this is one. Now intensive property, here look at this. So I will keep this video towards this. Here extensive properties are given: volume, mass, size, weight. These are the intensive properties. Intensive properties are those, they do not depend upon the quantity of matter present in a system, or they do not depend upon the size of the system, they do not depend upon the number of particles in the system. Okay, suppose if you take a color of the system, if you take some colored solution, if you take any part of that colored solution, that will be the same color. Or if you take the temperature of that particular solution, if you take any part of that solution, the temperature will be same. So these are the intensive properties. It means even though if you divide that system into two pieces, but the property will not be changed. So that is called intensive property. Okay, so here examples are given. Color will not be changed with the size. If you take the small size of that particular substance, or if you take the bigger size of that substance, color will be the same. Temperature also, if you take small part of that system or bigger part of that system, but temperature will be same. Okay, so these are the examples for intensive properties, these are the examples for extensive property. And now state functions. What are the state functions? State function is that which only depends upon the initial and final state of the system. And what is the state of system? State of system is defined with some variables, some fixed variables. If you change those variables, state of the system also changed. Suppose water. So to exist water at room temperature, you need 25 degrees centigrade temperature and 1 atmospheric pressure. So at these particular fixed variables only water is existed. Suppose if you change the heat, or if you change the temperature, or if you change the pressure, water may be converted into ice, or it may be converted into vapor. So this is the state of the system. Now what is the state function? This function only depends upon initial and final state of the system. It will not depend upon the path through which it is taken to the final state. Suppose for example, take here temperature is taken. See, temperature. Here temperature is Ti. Here final temperature is Tf. Here directly this, suppose let us take this is 0 degree temperature, this is 25 degrees temperature. So if you want the resultant temperature, this is 25 minus 0, so 25 degree. So to bring the system from 0 degree to 25 degree, whether you directly take the 25 degree to final state, or if you take in steps, this is the first step. So first you heated this for 10 degree, later 15 degree, finally 20 degree. So whether you take in steps or you take it directly, but there is no change in resultant change of temperature. So it is not depending upon the path through which you are taking, it only depends upon the initial state and final state of the system. So this is called state function. Next, path function. What is the path function? The properties which depend on path through which it is taken from initial state to final state. Here if you look at this picture, this is the initial state, this is the final state. Here A is, this is A, this is route A, this is path B, this is path C. So if there are only two terms, work and heat, these two properties are generally path functions. Suppose if you go from this initial state to this final state through this path, A path, that require some work or some heat energy